Origin Unexplained.
This is Origin Unexplained, and today we're now looking at what's hidden underground. We're looking at something that's been right in front of us for over 600 years. A book. Not just any book, but the most unreadable book in history. A book no one can translate, filled with plants that don't exist, strange women bathing in tubs, and a language that's never been cracked. It's been tested, carbon dated, scanned, decoded, and even fed through artificial intelligence. Nothing works. The deeper people dig into it, the weirder it gets. Today, we're talking about the Voynich Manuscript. What is it? Who made it? And why, after all this time, is it still locked up tighter than a tomb? The Voynich Manuscript stands out as one of the most enduring enigmas in human history, a book that refuses to reveal even a sliver of its meaning despite more than a century of study. It was discovered in 1912 by a Polish rare book dealer named Wilfred Michael Voynich. While examining a collection of manuscripts at the Villa Mondragone, a Jesuit college in Italy, from the moment he opened it, he realized he was holding something extraordinary, bound in vellum and filled with hundreds of pages of strange writing, bizarre plants, cosmic diagrams, and countless images of nude women immersed in strange bathing systems. The manuscript instantly entered the world of unsolved mysteries. Even now, archivists can trace its ownership, but they cannot definitively name its author, its purpose, or the system behind its creation. The vellum itself has been carbon dated to the early 15th century, placing it in the Renaissance, a period defined by intellectual upheaval, hidden knowledge, and competition between science, religion, and emerging medicine. The age of the parchment does not tell us when the ink was applied, nor does it explain who possessed the level of skill required to produce such a manuscript. The text inside, now known as the Voyniches, is composed of looping structured glyphs that behave statistically like real human language. It has grammar-like patterns, repeated word forms, internal consistency, and rules that span the entire manuscript. In over a century, no one has been able to translate even a single sentence. Code breakers from World War II tried, analysts at the NSA tried, linguists, historians, mathematicians, and modern artificial intelligence models all tried. Nothing has broken it. The manuscript is divided into distinct sections. The botanical section shows plants that appear familiar at first glance, but quickly fall apart under scrutiny. Their leaves combine traits from unrelated species, their roots twist in anatomically impossible directions, and their flowers look like exaggerated hybrids. Some researchers believe these drawings represent medicinal herbs depicted symbolically, while others argue they were invented to conceal the true ingredients. The astronomical, or astrology, and cosmological sections contain star charts, zodiac symbols, and circular diagrams that resemble both astrological tools and alchemical wheels. These may have been used to time treatments, rituals, or herbal preparations. The biological section is most visually shocking. Page after page of small nude women with swollen stomachs standing or floating in interconnected tubs, pipes, and channels. Their bodies, they're shown with a level of focus that is deliberate rather than decorative. The repetition suggests purpose. Because of these images, countless theories have surfaced. Some propose that the manuscript is an encrypted medical guide, possibly focused on women's health, fertility, pregnancy, childbirth, or gynecological treatment. Others argue that it is an alchemical text using plants as metaphors for spiritual transformation. A number of linguists believe it may represent a lost natural language or a constructed language created by someone who never intended outsiders to read it. A few have suggested glossolalia, automatic writing created by an individual in a trance state, unconsciously generating structured but private language. On the more extreme end, some believe the manuscript may be extraterrestrial in origin, pointing to the strange plants, unusual anatomy, and unfamiliar diagrammatic forms as evidence not of medieval Europe, but of something beyond human development no single theory accounts for every aspect. The hoax theory has circulated for years, yet it collapses under basic examination. The vellum predates Voynich by centuries. The language behaves too consistently to be random. The manuscript would have required an enormous investment of time, ink, and artistic discipline. Far more work than any con man would ever undertake for such an uncertain payoff. Other theories connecting the manuscript to historical figures such as Roger Bacon, John Dee, or Edward Kelly have also failed to produce concrete evidence. The manuscript resists every attempt to attach it to a known name. Modern decoding efforts have tested statistical linguistics, algorithmic modeling, stenography, pattern mapping, and even proto-romance theories. No approach has yielded a conclusive translation. Some researchers believe the manuscript may operate on layered rules where meaning shifts depending on context. Others suggest the illustrations themselves hold encoded meaning, with the text acting more like a mnemonic device. Despite hundreds of attempts, no decryption has survived serious scrutiny. One theme stands out above all others. The manuscript's strongest visual focus is the female body. The women drawn throughout the pages are not metaphorical or mythological. Their swollen bellies, repetitive postures, and immersion in water all point to physical experience, pregnancy, illness, or ritual healing. Herbal plants are shown near them and are or connected to their movements. Tubes and vessels link pools of liquid together in ways that resemble early hydrotherapy or medicinal bathing systems. And that was my thought. These women appear to be undergoing treatments, not acting out allegory. Some scholars now believe the manuscript documents balneotherapy, the use of warm herb-infused baths to treat ailments, could be one of the possibilities. In a time when women's health was often suppressed, misunderstood, or controlled, knowledge of how to ease pregnancy, miscarriage, menstrual pain, or digestive distress would have been both critical and risky. A secret book encoded for protection makes logical sense under those circumstances. The author, may have been a healer, a midwife, or someone with specialized medical insight who had to hide their practice. If the women shown in the manuscript were pregnant or sick, and if the baths were therapeutic, then the plants drawn alongside them could have been real ingredients used to infuse the water, which is exactly what I believed. I believed that the flowers and stuff set up at the top and then they were fused through into the water. The imagery would not be spiritual, it would be practical. The pipes and flows may show preparation techniques. The rituals may have had a biological goal rather than a mystical one. This view does not rely on fantasy. It is visible directly in straight-up photo in the illustrations. What looks mysterious becomes medical. What seems symbolic becomes real. Today, the Voynich Manuscript rests at Yale University inside the Bianchi Rare Book and Manuscript Library, cataloged as MS408. It sits sealed behind protective glass, preserved but unreadable, just as impenetrable now as the day it resurfaced in 1912. After hundreds of years of attempts, scholars, code breakers, scientists, computers, and theorists, no one has broken its code, identified its plants, or fully explained its strange focus on the female body. It remains exactly what it has always been, a mystery no one has claimed, no one has solved, and no one has been able to silence. Perhaps that was the point from the beginning.
Origin unexplained.